Hello and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and if you are new here, then welcome to the channel. Ever since I watched Fantastic Voyage, Brian and Mark mentioned it, and so did a whole host of other people. Now I just want to give a huge apology to one of my best friends, Charlie, because I said to him that when I first watch it, I'd watch it with him because he hasn't seen it either. Now the only piece of information I know about this film is something to do with one of the effects, and that is the pen floating, that it was done by a pane of glass being rotated. That is all I know about this film. Oh, and HAL 9000, I think that's this film. Anyway, if you'd like to see the full reaction to this, you can watch it over on Patreon, and you can go and check out my Letterboxd account for anything that I have and haven't seen, which I am so glad I get to say I have finally seen. Grab your popcorn, grab a nice cup of coffee, or tea, or whatever you like, and let's watch. I don't know why, but I'm so nervous for this one. Because it's such a big film. It's legendary in the world of film. Am I missing something? This must have been amazing in the cinema, though. You know, pitch black cinema, the film has started, so all you'll hear is this music. That is such a cool shot. Oh, this music is so good. That is gorgeous. The colours in that. By the way, some colours for me might be a little bit off. The dawn of man. Because I'm colourblind. But I can see those colours. God, I love scenery. I love nature like that. Just... This film looks so good though. The quality is incredible. Oh, it's the bones of something. It's human bones there as well. Is that relevant to something later in the film? I like that it was all centered with, you know, they were all eating, but there was just one in the middle just stood there. Look at that, the sky. I feel like we should have, what's his name over this?
Here we have the warthogs.
Or whatever they are. David Attenborough. What is, you know, in the sky, there's like lines. Look, you can see there's like lines in the sky that look like brick. Is that on purpose? Why are they there? Is this like a simulation or something? Okay. Circle of Life starts playing. They're humans dressed like apes, aren't they? The makeup is incredible. Or is this meant to be like a representation of humans aimlessly wandering around and fighting over absolutely nothing and yelling about nothing? I'm so intrigued by this. That is gorgeous. I'm not intrigued that it's gorgeous, I'm just intrigued. Wow, look at the eyes on that. What are your thoughts on this? What was your first reactions to these scenes? I feel like it's settling you into something because it makes you think, okay, this is just such a relaxed and chilled... What is with the music and everything? Was it going to be the world's coming to an end? Oh, there's going to be the world's coming to an end. What is that? Kubrick doing his very intense long shots. And again, Kubrick's soundtracks are just haunting. Also, what is it? It's just this huge... Oh, that was a cool shot going from that last one to this one, which makes it look like the shadow of the monolith. It's gone. So that's the same place, isn't it? Where's it gone? Was it just a dream? Is this him trying to find it again? Then realising that, yeah, it's just a dream. Learning to smash. Wait, is it saying that this is how man's like first started to do this kind of thing? See what I mean in the sky? There's like, it could just be because of the lenses they're using. It's like there's a brick pattern in there. I don't know why. Yeah, it was apes first learning how to kill. So he did it with the bones. Now they're going to go and kill them with the bones. Yeah. First time they realised they could kill someone. And asserting their dominance. I feel like I should have done this whole beginning narration thing as David Attenborough.
They've learned to assert their dominance. The apes have bones.
That was cool. The sort of subtle transition into that space station or satellite. this is beautiful, this film. The use of orchestral music with the gorgeous shots is just absolutely sublime. I bet this, played with a real live orchestra, is just perfection. Just look at that. Is that a model? Because that's so detailed. There's the floating pen on a piece of glass. It's just amazing. Held on with a bit of tape from what I remember. Yeah, because there's certain bits where you can see things floating through the air as well with it. Okay, it's official. I love this film just from these first scenes. Pan Am grip shoes. So it's a weightless, because the sign at the back says caution, weightless condition. So the only reason she can step on the floors is because of her shoes. The work of him even having his arm floating, or his arms floating off the ground as well, is just little details. Honestly, if the film was like this for the entire thing, I wouldn't complain. It's just art. A very wide angle lens. I also know about this film, they almost preempted a lot of today's technology, because I think there's something like that's similar to a tablet in this. You know, like a computer tablet, like an iPad. This was before, was this before Star Wars or after? This is a major influence on it. I've not seen Star Wars, but I've seen bits of it. Just the subtle things like the light inside the windows and everything. Yeah, the landing bay that you just saw a minute ago. God, look at that shot. Even this is just so well done.
Here you are, sir. Main level, please.
Oh, hello, Dr. Floyd. How are you?
It fully immerses you into that world with that opening. So now you're really relaxed going into this bit. Is that Hilton on the spaceship?
An hour and 10 minutes.
That's brilliant. The room as well. And picture phones as well. Well, they called it picture phones, but it's basically video calling. Sorry, I'm in awe. I think that they've done that previously on different films, haven't they? Or shows?
Hello.
Is he calling home?
Are you coming to my party tomorrow?
I'm sorry, sweetheart, but I can't.
How did they do this? Was it just a monitor with them filming another room?
Okay, now take care and be a good girl, won't you?
Alright, bye-bye.
Because it's too synced to be able to do it any other way. Because there'd be a massive delay any other way.
Well,
No, please.
Oh, thank you. I'm just on my way up to Clavius.
Perhaps you can clear up the great big mystery about what has been going on up there.
With the camera situated, static,
Some extremely odd things have been happening at Clavius.
it's like we're a member of their little group sat there listening to the conversation.
You haven't been able to contact anyone for the past 10 days?
So this place they're talking about is the main PlayStation?
Quite a serious epidemic has broken out at Clavius. Something apparently of an unknown origin.
COVID.
I'm really not at liberty to discuss this.
So he knows. Something tells me he's not quite innocent. Yeah, Kubrick's got such a way of filming situations and scenes. Every shot is a masterpiece. Having the hallway slightly slanted allows you to see more in the distance. Also, like TVs in walls and all that kind of stuff, especially on crafts, were they new then? Or I would have said, widescreen being not this film, but I mean the TV that we saw a second ago. Was that an innovation? I love the careful steps because they're using the gravity boots. I love that. Yes! Revolving rooms. Brilliant. So effective. I bet when this film came out, people were just... I mean, I'm still, gobsmacked at it. It's brilliant. But obviously now we kind of know how they did it. I'm assuming that this is such a lengthy sequence. I know the beginning was lengthy, but maybe this is a lengthy sequence to show how long of a time it takes. Gotta admit, the sets are absolutely gorgeous. I've said that 1,000 times, I know. Including the models. Look at that. Just the detail. And the addition of the people in the windows as well. No, you can even see the people in them windows moving as well. What? Oh, look at that. It reminds me of shots that I've seen in, Dune. It must have taken inspiration from this, though. Sorry, but even that could be a painting. That is stunning. Oh, Oh my god, that's beautiful. Sorry, this entire thing is just going to be going, oh, that's beautiful. As a lover of cinematography, Stanley Kubrick, this is amazing. I have to find out who the cinematographer was for this. There's so many little details in there. Like all the windows and even over on the left, you've got like a miniature viewing of what you're seeing here.
He's asked me to convey his deepest appreciation to all of you.
Interesting choice to keep it on a wide cam the entire time to see everyone's reactions to it. Again, making it look like you're a member of the team.
More specifically, your opposition to the cover story. Created to give the impression there's an epidemic at the base. Now, I'm sure you're all aware of the extremely grave potential for cultural shock and social disorientation contained in this presence if the facts were prematurely and suddenly made public without adequate preparation.
I feel like we're in a meeting room during the pandemic that we had. Just for these simple shots, they built little sets of like moon surfaces to glide over. They could have just done it as art and kept it still and had that thing fly over. They didn't. They created little mini sets to go like that. They could have done that kind of thing, which no doubt was probably real, but they could have done a piece of artwork to show it. The use of colour is interesting as well. So, blues and reds and that. Red is presumably to show control, because the people at the front have control of the ship, maybe? I'm not sure.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to say to both of you, I think you've done a wonderful job.
I want sandwich now.
When we first found it, we thought it might be an outcrop of magnetic rock, but all the geological evidence was against it.
Was that the thing they were talking about, the big thing on the top of the moon? That's a real thing on the moon, I think.
Something like that. Well, how about a little coffee?
Oh, great.
Good idea.
Oh, yes, please. Oh, look at this, I got coffee. Coffee.
It's just outside.
Cutting away just before they pour the coffee. There's no coffee in there. It's just empty glasses or mugs whenever they show it, usually on TV and film. I actually quite like that this is a slow burner, because it allows time to soak in every single detail. There's people that say the same thing about Interstellar, that it's a bit of a slow burner, etc. What happens if they watched this? Because this is even more slow burning than Interstellar. So they're digging down to where this thing is buried, or that thing is buried. That's not the same one then that we saw earlier, because the one we saw earlier, that monolith-looking TARS thing, we saw that on planet Earth before. Or is it meant to show almost like a juxtaposition between humans and apes? Because you've got humans now looking in awe at this thing. We had apes doing the same thing earlier. I'm looking too deep into it, I know. This music's giving me very Shining-esque vibes, with the choir eerily. See, even this, like the handheld camera makes you think makes you feel like you're part of the crew going down to it. I love it. If they shot the whole thing on handheld cameras, would be incredible. But well shot handheld camera like this. Is it a spaceship? Or a door? Or... Don't touch it, man! You'll doom us all! Will it respond to the touch? Oh god, what's going to happen? They're all just going to blink out of existence. Oh! It's quite deafening, actually. I feel like this would have been really cool if they kept it silent for a little bit. You just hear it echoing in your head. Ooh. Are they living pods, or where people sleep? Is it a train? Is it what people can take a ride in? Or from the clips I've seen, I think this might be the main character. That is such an awesome shot. Again, that's done with the rotating room, and if so, the work to time it perfectly with him running or jogging. That. Oh, I love this film. This whole thing is just me going, oh, I love it. I love it. Hey.
Hello, Dave.
That's all I know that he does, is the hello, Dave. Must be very disorientating for the actors as well. Wait, if the whole thing was rotating, how is that guy sat there constantly? Is he just moving like this the entire time? Like moving around? Here, there you go. The thing that's like a tablet. BBC 12.
We spoke with Mission Commander Dr. David Bowman.
David Bowman, okay. It's also like one of the first instances of vertical video. One of the options on that screen was vibrator.
We next spoke with the HAL 9000 computer. How's everything going?
Good afternoon, Mr. Raymer.
And your responsibilities include watching over the men in hibernation.
Let me put it this way, Mr. Raymer.
That's so creepy.
The 9000 series is the most reliable computer ever made. No 9000 computer has ever made a mistake or distorted information.
Ooh. Yeah, and constantly watching. You ever thought how much a Ring doorbell or a smart doorbell looks like HAL?
Which is all I think that any conscious entity can ever hope to do.
What's it like living for the better part of a year in such close proximity with Hal?
Scary?
Quickly get adjusted to the idea that he talks, you think?
Much like our smart speakers.
One gets the sense that he is capable of emotional responses.
Creating characters makes it seem like there's an emotion there.
But as to whether or not he has real feelings is something I don't think anyone can truthfully answer.
One of these days, smart devices are going to be very smart and will have feelings. They're programs to have feelings now, but...
We've got the transmission from your parents coming in.
Oh, I ran into Bob the other day. He said to be sure and wish you happy birthday.
All my
This call is a lot different to the other one with the daughter, because this one is a pre-recorded video. You can tell by the way they're talking.
Happy birthday to you.
It's like birthdays during lockdown. A lot of people having cake on either end, not being able to actually see each other.
Happy birthday, Frank.
Happy birthday.
Someone should definitely make a HAL voice for a Ring, or sorry, for a smart device. A long time ago I wanted that.
Hello, Marty. What would you like?
Lights on.
Okay, Marty.
Rook to king 1.
I'm sorry, Frank. I think you missed it.
Smart computers before they were even a thing. Thingy, games. Virtual games. Like computer games.
It's Dr. Hunter, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you mind if I ask you a personal question?
No, not at all.
During the past few weeks, I've wondered whether you might be having some second thoughts about the mission.
How do you mean?
It's rather difficult to define. Perhaps I'm just projecting my own concern about it.
You can't have concern, it's computer.
That there are some extremely odd things about
You can't have suspicion. Computers only have ones and zeros.
rumors about something being dug up on the moon.
Yeah. Is he to do with the thing dug up?
I find them difficult to put out of my mind. I've just picked up a fault in the AE-35 unit. It's going to go 100% failure within 72 hours.
Is that a communication?
Would you say we have a reliable 72 hours to failure?
That's a completely reliable figure.
Well, then I suppose we'll have to bring it in, but first I'd like to go over this with Frank and get on to mission control.
I'm afraid that's not possible, Dave. There's no time. Don't know why I've turned Hal into William Shatner. There's no time. Look at that. That is awesome. He's on his side and that one's on the front. How did they do that? Was that shot twice and then superimposed together? Or was one of them held up? Like with string or something? Not string, you know. Wires? You'd feel a bit seasick, wouldn't you? Being on that too long. It's like one of those rides. How did they do that as well? Did they, as soon as they step onto it, the whole room then starts spinning and that thing started spinning even more? Because they were spinning on this one. So they couldn't have been spinning on it.
Roger your plan to go EVA and replace Alpha Echo, a 3-5 unit, prior to failure.
It's like a computer. Okay, we will do it. Okay, no worries. That is a great shot. So are they the pods to go outside? Bit of tangent. Have you ever done VR before? There's a NASA game where you can be in the NASA space shuttle, and you can climb outside the space shuttle in VR, and it's such an eerie sensation because it kind of feels like you're really in space. There was a bit where I pushed myself away accidentally from the ship, and it was so surreal. I panicked, thinking I wouldn't be able to get back, and then I realised, oh, hang on, this is VR. The tension in this. That's the thing that in 72 hours will fail. If they made like a whole black room with a light coming from the side, the stars projected on the black screen and floating on wires and stuff, it would feel so real. Showing the vastness of space as well with the ship being very, very tiny in the background is brilliant. Oh wow. Why does it turn his visor dark? Or is it just because he's turning his head away from the light? Is it because of the light bouncing off of these? Like a pair of glasses? Sunglasses? Or because he's out in space in general? I get so nervous seeing the shots of Hal. Oh, don't let it float away. Well, that's cool. We've got like an X-ray view of what's going on inside, so Hal can probably feed back where it went wrong. There's no problem, Dave. I love that. They must have wired that up, so when he presses a certain thing, it shows up as something on the screen, or very well-timed graphics.
Well, hell, I'm damned if I can find anything wrong with it.
Yes, it's puzzling. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this before.
Voice is just so creepy.
I would recommend that we put the unit back in operation and let it fail.
No. Yeah, but you gotta wait for it to fail first.
Can certainly afford to be out of communication for the short time it will take to replace it.
No, because then they'll lock the door so you can't get outside to do the repair work, probably. It's a trap! Don't do it, Dave!
We concur with your plan to replace number 1 unit to check fault prediction. Our preliminary findings indicate that your onboard 90000 computer is in error predicting the fault.
You sure?
90000 computer.
I like that they call him 9000 or 9000.
I hope the two of you are not concerned about this.
I get shivers every time he talks.
Yeah, I'd like to ask you a question, though.
Of course.
How would you account for this discrepancy between you and the Twin 9000?
Well, I don't think there is any question about it.
Because there's something wrong.
It can only be attributable to human error.
No, it's not human.
This sort of thing has cropped up before, and it has always been due to human error.
But you are the caretaker.
Human error.
It's a computer error.
There's never been any instance at all of computer error occurring in the 9000.
None whatsoever, Frank.
You know what's creepy, right? I'm looking through a camera lens that's very similar to the HAL 9000 lens.
Quite honestly, I wouldn't worry myself about that.
No, worry yourself about computer errors, because HAL is corrupt.
Oh, Frank, I'm having a bit of trouble with my transmitter and C-pod. I wonder if you'd come down and take a look at it with me.
Uh-huh.
See you later, Hal.
See you later, Hal. They're going to go off for a whisper about HAL, because they know something's wrong with HAL. But there's a HAL there, there's a HAL everywhere. It's like blooming smart speakers.
Rotate C-pod, please, Hal.
So that HAL can't read your lips. Yes.
What sort of trouble you been having, Dave?
There isn't one. But they have to say that there's a problem at the moment because HAL can still read them.
Open the door, Hal.
No, Dave. Ejects him from the ship without Dave. Because he knows. HAL knows.
Rotate pod, please, Hal.
I'm afraid I can't do that, Dave.
Sorry, I'm having way too much fun. Someone needs to make a horror game with Dave. Wait, but Dave can now see them, can't he? I'm confused. Yeah, Dave can now...
Rotate the pod, please, Hal.
Yeah, but he can read your lips. You turn it the other way so that HAL can't read your lips.
I've got a bad feeling about him.
Why would you turn it to face him?
You know, of course, though, he's right about the 9000 series having a perfect operational record.
Fortunately, that sounds a little like famous last words.
But they would say that. They would
Still,
make it
his
look
idea to
like
carry
it's
out the failure
true.
mode analysis, wasn't
They're
it?
computers.
Look, Dave, I can't put my finger on it, but I sense something strange about him.
Still, I can't think of a good reason not to put back the number 1 unit and carry on with the failure mode analysis.
He's reading your lips.
There isn't a single aspect of ship operations that's not under his control. If he were proven to be malfunctioning, I wouldn't see how we'd have any choice but disconnection.
We'd have to cut his higher brain functions, and we'd have to work out the transfer procedures of continuing the mission under ground-based computer control.
Yeah, maybe they did it this way so that it looked better visually for the film.
Well, I'm not so sure. What do you think?
He wouldn't like it. That thing is... Yes, I told you! It's bloody reading your lips. Why? If they had a fake conversation like that and blah 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 blah. Oh, okay. An intermission. I didn't realise we had an intermission in this. This is them going to put the transmitter or whatever it was back up top. They got a transmission, right? When the other thing was out. So they were using an alternative to it. So why not just continue using that alternative? Why did they need to replace it with the battery or whatever it was they were replacing it with? Was that only just a backup and they didn't have enough power in it or something? That's the... Is that the poster or the front cover or something? The buttons on the panels remind me of Knight Rider. Wait, who is it that's outside? Yeah, it's not Dave, is it? It's the other guy. Watch out. That's going to head back to the ship and leave you out there. doing? Is I going to shoot him or something? Or kill him? It snipped the wire! Oh my god, that is horrifying. Just silence, because there's no sound in space as well. Like, that thing's flying through spaces, but what? What happened?
I'm sorry, Dave.
Pod 3VA, Hal.
Oh, he's going out there.
Made radio contact with him yet?
The radio is still dead.
Do you have a positive track on him?
Yes, I have a good track.
Do you know what happened?
I'm sorry, Dave. I don't have enough information.
Liar. But I can't lie. I'm a computer, Dave. Yes, you can. Oh my god, he's going so far away. He's dead. He's dead. And he's definitely not going to let him leave the ship. Oh, he is. He's letting him leave the ship. That is the thing I was talking about. You remember earlier I said about the thing, the fear of floating away and not having any way of getting back? It's horrifying. It just makes you feel so... Ooh. That's going to take him, at that speed, that's going to take him forever to get there. Well, even worse, imagine if something happened to the main ship and he was just trapped in that little ship for the entire time. Here he is. I'm doing the same thing he's doing. I'm looking at every computer monitor around. Just wondering if it's going to show anything. It's an interesting choice that Kubrick's made. Obviously, it does immerse you in the situation, but it's an interesting choice that he's made to prolong all of the shots. But I think it really works. In this film, it really works. Is there even room on board that thing? I imagine they were both in one a little while ago. Even though it doesn't look like there is a lot of room, but I know you can't go too fast because otherwise you'll knock into him or something. But Hal's just going to rip his suit, isn't he? Careful. You stopped him spinning at least, but yeah, one slight mismaneuver and pincers.
Not to mention the pincers.
He's like, Dave? Where are you, Dave? Is he gonna turn off the machines, or he is, isn't he? Don't go showing those. Gonna turn off all the vitals. He's gonna, isn't he? Oh, Jesus Christ. Yep, told you. Computer malfunction. Yep. They're dead. Kimball and Kaminsky are... Beep. I thought he might have turned off the computers, but no, he just... And they're not on the ship. So they won't know any of this is happening. The fact that they prolong on these as well, and just show you it in depth. But this is the thing, like if you make a film like this, you put all this work and effort and time and money into making these sets and all the little detailed shots and the graphics and stuff. You want to show it off as much as you possibly can. And it helps to add to that story.
Open the pod bay doors, please, Hal.
He's not listening. He's not gonna open the doors, is he?
Open the pod bay doors,
please,
Hal.
Come on, open it. I'm sorry, Dave.
Hello, Hal, do you read me?
That's a great shot.
Do you read me, Hal? Hello, Hal, do you read me? Hello, Hal, do you read me?
Uh-oh.
Affirmative, Dave. I read you.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Just waiting for that line. Oh, it's so creepy.
I think you know what the problem is just as well as I do.
What are you talking about, Hal?
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
You're planning on shutting me down?
I don't know what you're talking about, Hal.
I know that you and Frank were planning to disconnect me.
There you go.
And I'm afraid that's something I cannot allow to happen.
Where the hell did you get that idea, Hal?
I could read your lips.
I could see your lips move.
You idiot!
I'll go in through the emergency airlock.
Without your space helmet, Dave, you're going to find that rather difficult.
Open the doors.
This conversation can serve no purpose anymore. Bye.
It just cuts him off. If this was reality, imagine.
Hal!
There's no other way of doing it. Crashes into that thing and he'll die. Can he not just somehow try and agree with Hal? Is there no override procedures? He's got to let him go, I'm assuming. Maybe he can prise open like the lock with the hands of that thing. But surely Hal can operate that as well from where he is. He was doing it before. Or can Hal only see it and not operate it? Because if he prizes open the door, then he could section off that part by locking another airlock, maybe. So I'm just on the edge of my seat. Like, I feel... It just makes you feel like you're really there. I've realised the whole film I've been like this, just intensely staring at the screen and spouting my own thoughts at you. So he's unlocked the emergency override if the computer shut down. Yeah, because it's a windable one. Was he just going to try and butt that thing straight up against it? Hold his breath before his lungs combust, or... This is where Hal just moves the ship. Or maybe it can attach. Will it attach to it in some way? Oh, that is a gorgeous shot. Why didn't we see more of that? Was that the opening that he's just going into now then? Where you just saw? Maybe when he opens the door, he just gets sucked. He gets sucked straight into that room. And what's he going to do? Oh, is he going to blow it up? Why is that even built into the ship? I'm assuming that's what it is anyway. Oh, is it armed to explode the bolts? Sorry. That makes sense. Yep, head between your legs. You can hear it. Ooh. Hey, I was right about going straight in. No. Don't get sucked back out. Don't get sucked back out. He's got no... How the heck has he done that without anything? And his lungs not combusting. Oh, that's a great shot. Yeah, I don't think he's going to let you back in there, mate. Oh, we did? He's allowing it. I don't know how much Hal operates.
What do you think you're doing, Dave?
Coming to shut you off, Hal.
Don't think Dave saying anything would actually help in any way at all anyway.
I know everything hasn't been quite right with me.
Could Hal not, like, shut down his...
I feel much better now.
Life support or something? Oh, is he pulling out his memory?
I can see you're really upset about this. Take a stress pill and think things over.
Take a chill pill, man. God, I love this cinematography. Look at that. The colour and the... Oh.
I've still got the greatest enthusiasm and confidence in the mission.
Have you? You don't sound like it.
And I want to help you. Stop. Will you?
It's not going to be any good. He's still going to do it.
Will you stop, Dave?
His voice just slowly goes, you still do.
My mind is going.
Well, he's done all of the initials, I think. The initial ones.
I can feel it.
Now he's doing IV3 logic.
My mind is going.
So now he doesn't have any memory. You've missed 6. Dave, you've missed 6. Did that maybe fail when they were filming? They just left it. Maybe that one doesn't open on the 6, but just a few more. Bye-bye.
Good afternoon.
He's reset the... Or is he trying to trick him?
It was Mr. Langley.
Ooh, a voice just slowly pitching down.
I'd like to hear it, Hal. Say it for me.
It's called Daisy.
Oh, I've heard this bit before.
Daisy.
So creepy.
Give me your answer, do.
How to make like a creepy horror film this is, really.
It won't be a style.
It's like the origins of Black Mirror, this is.
Good day, gentlemen.
What?
A pre-recorded briefing.
Oh, right.
The first evidence of intelligent life off the Earth was discovered. It was buried 40 feet below the lunar surface. Except for a single, very powerful radio emission aimed at Jupiter, the 4-million-year-old black monolith has remained completely inert.
Yeah.
Its origin and purpose still a total mystery.
Okay. Jupiter and beyond the infinite. I thought it was going to be that, maybe there was a link between Hal and the monolith. The artwork in this is stunning. The soundtrack as well. I thought maybe it was because they were near Jupiter, maybe they were intercepting a signal, and that's what made Hal like he was. And now that his computers are off, he's got no way of getting home, and that it was going to be some deadly thing. The monolith is floating through space. But why? There wasn't that on the planet. Why is it a giant ship? Is it a giant monolith? What is it? There wasn't any explanation apart from it being this unknown origin. I must look so confused now. So is this the beginning of the film where it lands on Earth? No, it can't be though, because I'm just in awe, disbelief that they've made something so beautiful. I haven't seen it before. Now, I wonder how accurate this is to space as well. Why is the door opening? God, that is beautiful. This whole video is just going to be me gawping and just showing off the beautiful cinematography, going, oh, that's gorgeous, that is. It's there, right in front of him, I think. Yeah. Well, it's in alignment with the planets, so zoop, disappeared. Maybe that's signaling an even bigger one. What the fudge? Is he traveling in the speed of light or something? This is like a bit like Interstellar. If it's what I'm thinking. I won't spoil anything if you haven't seen the film. Maybe I'll do a rewatch on here sometime. That is beautiful, but what the heck am I looking at? I'm mesmerised there. Oh wow, that was cool. With the interspersed shots of Dave in horror. Like the shots of Danny in The Shining going every now and then. It's gorgeous. It's like flying through clouds on this side. Please, for the love of God, someone put this back in cinemas. If they ever put this in IMAX, like that, just gorgeous. Are we travelling into a spaceship, maybe? Or this, you know, one of those simulators where you're sat in there as if you're in a ship and it moves and judders around. Imagine this in that. Or this in VR as well. Just, it's like the ship. And that's like his eye. Is he, what, travelling light years to another galaxy? Is this meant to be other galaxies? Yeah, it's like solar flares from the sun. What is all this? Is it a black hole? I feel like I'm tripping on drugs or something. And I have never had drugs before. This is what I imagine it's like. Is this going to be like some very weird, higher being type thing? What? The spaceships? Like aliens? What is this? It's like he's travelling through the planes of the universe or something. Like existing between two different worlds, two different planes. This isn't me bored, by the way, having my hand here. This is me absolutely mesmerised. The styling of the red and the blues, and I kept saying earlier, there was a theme with red and blue. I don't know exactly what it does signify, the red and the blue. First I thought it was like good and evil or control and being neutral or placid. But now I'm kind of wondering if it's like the difference between heaven and hell, because you've got the sky is blue like it would be for heaven, and then that's like hell being the red and the yellow. Oh, I'm looking into this way too much, but oh wow, look at that. Has he travelled back in time and then he's going to wake up? I'm kind of confused as to what I'm looking. I know what I'm looking at. It's obviously snowy fields, but it's kind of making it look like the fiery plains of some alien planet with the light changing every time he blinks, or colours changing. Sorry, every time he blinks. But back to normal. Pans out and he's what? Now he's in Renaissance England. Well, it's Barry Lyndon going to walk in. Oh my God! Look at him. What? Where is that? It's not Renaissance because look at the floor. It's a ship of some sort, but in the past, future. Are these the aliens that we saw? You know, the diamond-looking ships. Huh? Oh, got shivers. Is that him? Old him. He's time traveled, hasn't he? This is where it's going to be like, oh, you were dreaming all along. You never existed. Kubrick does this tense horror. Like the creepy lighting and he does it so well. I didn't realise it was his mirror he was looking at, but oh my God, look at him. What's that noise? Why am I doing this as if I'm going to look around the door? Is that going to be him? He turns around really slowly, looks over his shoulder. Oh my God, he is. Kubrick-esque. Quick zoom. It's him, isn't it? It's him, really, really old. Oh my God, it is. His breathing's stopped. Is he now not there? Was he just observing and then bing? Now it's him. Because he was watching himself earlier and then he disappeared. And now this is him again. Is he now disappeared again? He's like, I thought I heard something. Why is he there? How is he there? What happened? Did he get transported to this place and now he's just living out his days? If so, where's the ship gone? This is all a dream, isn't it? It's all in his head. Like a higher being has created all of this for him to live out his life. He's back. The spaceman's back. I can hear him breathing. Oh no, wait, what? Time is passing so fast. Now he's seeing himself. Now we'll probably focus on him. And the other man at the table won't be there anymore. He'll be gone when he looks, yeah. Were they like transporting him through age, or is he going to be reaching out Yeah, I was going to say, is he going to be reaching out to the... I was either thinking Monolith or the monkey, or the guy when he reaches out and touches it earlier in the film. What? This has gone really deep. This is like the circle of life. Now this is him reborn. God, this definitely needs like a Amber voiceover.
And now the circle of life has begun.
God, this is so good. And now we're back at the beginning of time, where time began. Oh, I thought that was a planet on the left. It's not. It's him as a baby. Is he now a higher being? I'm looking like the baby right now. Presumably, he's not a giant baby in space. Please don't end there. It's going to end there, isn't it? I'm sure it was like this in the cinema back then. I'm just stunned, left there speechless. I honestly, my mind is blown. I don't know what to think to that. Not in a bad way. Wow. What did it mean? Like, thank you for recommending this film. Thank you for requesting me to watch it. Oh, I want to watch it again now. I know I'll get a chance to when I'm doing the edit for this, but guys, I'm kind of glad I'm watching this at the end of the day, because now I'm speechless. Like, I need time to unwrap this. Just, what did I watch? It was a space epic, I know, but it was this slow burning, beautifully gorgeous film that played with emotions of being trapped and alone in space with this impending doom being there. At some points obviously was Hal, at other points was, I don't know if Dave and the crew knew about this virus. What was the virus? Because did that ever get explained? Did they just say? It felt like there was multiple threads and plot points that they wanted to weave into this, and they did it very, very well. But were they ever finished? Like, because you had the monolith. I know it's all probably for interpretation. It's all so you can think about life and the meaning of it. The ending came out of nowhere. Like, I didn't expect it to play with time and like life so much, because the rest of it started with, I can kind of see the whole circle of life thing being played on at the beginning, because you started with the space shots and then you see Earth and you see the apes. That's the start of life on Earth, and then it rolls all the way around to the end, to death, with it then being reborn and starting afresh with him being a baby. Or if that wasn't him as a baby, it was man as a baby. Just apparently I haven't seen a huge array of films, considering the amount like I have on my list to watch that I haven't seen. Yeah, things that I think are artistically beautiful and visually pleasing to the eye and stunning. I think this is probably my favourite. This is my number one now. The soundscape itself is just beautiful. I just wish I had seen it for the first time in 4K. I'd have had to wait like another however long it's going to take me to get back to the cottage and that. But oh my god, I'm in love with that. Kind of lost for words. It's put me into this trance-like state where I'm just trying to think of what the film was about, the reasons behind things they did in the film, the meaning of the ending, and to how that portrayed the characters like Dave and that. What was the monolith to do with Hal? Was it to do with it? This is what I meant by the threads of the storyline. You had the virus, the monolith, and Hal. Three completely different, as far as I know. I don't think the virus has anything to do with Hal, and I don't think the virus has anything to do with the monolith. Maybe it was. Maybe they had the breakout of that because it was this alien thing. I don't know, but they had the monolith there way back when they were apes. So how did that... Maybe that virus has always been there, lying, like lurking, because they did say they'd uncovered it because it was buried. My god. Yeah, that alongside Interstellar and Blade Runner 2049, just because they, to me, are gorgeous looking films. There are others that I can add in. There's plenty of others I could add in, but those two are just like on an epic scale, and this just adds in there, because they didn't just do big open shots. They did, like at the beginning, and that they They kept it secluded to the apes, but at the same time they had these big vast shots of the open landscapes to show you that these were just isolated humans, which was kind of the parallel, I suppose. This is what I was saying. I don't know if it's the parallel to humans on Earth, almost like different stages of human life. Maybe I'm getting very deep now, but maybe I've got the wrong end of all of this. Maybe there is a reason for all this. What does the ending mean? Was it meant to be, like I said, like a higher plane of life? I'm in awe of that film. It's just stunning. Thank you a million times. Thank you for requesting that. And I cannot believe I have not seen that until now. One thing I love in this film, and Kubrick does it a lot that I've seen anyway, wide shots or these long shots where you just get drawn into situations. Like for instance in this film where near the beginning with the conversations on the ship, where you're sat there as if you're one of the people in the seats watching this conversation go on this almost fisheye wide angle lens, and you're just seeing this conversation back between these two guys, and you can see the other people watching around. You're one of the audience members watching this, one of the people that are surrounded the table watching this thing go on. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to look at some of the trivia of this film, try and dissect a little bit of it. I'm just intrigued by everything about that. According to Douglas Trumbull, the total footage shot was 200 times, and probably a bit more, the final length of that film. They had shot so much footage that there was 200 times more footage that they did not use. What shots did they not use? What did they not use? That film would be a day long, 2 days long, a week long. Film was already, 2.5 or something hours long? Wow. Okay, I don't feel quite as silly as I thought I would have. At the premiere screening, 241 people walked out of the theatre, including Rock Hudson, who said, "Will someone tell me what the hell this is about?" Sir Arthur C. Clarke once said, "If you understand 2001 completely, we failed. We wanted to raise far more questions than we answered," which kind of would explain the reason why there's so many threads and plot points and stuff that just, I feel like they weren't answered. Clarke later expressed some concern that the film was too hard to follow and explained things more fully in the novelization and subsequent sequels. There's other films of this. Stanley Kubrick calculated that it would take one person 13 years to hand draw and paint all the mats needed to insert the assorted spacecraft into the starry background. Oh my good god. Kubrick hired 12 other people and did the job in 1 year. That was a year of solid work. Apparently, Stanley Kubrick provided the breathing that you can hear in the spacesuits, which is interesting. There we go. Stanley Kubrick worked for several months with effects technicians to come up with a convincing effect for the floating pen in the shuttle sequence. After trying many different techniques without success, Kubrick decided to simply use a pen that was adhered using newly invented double-sided tape to a sheet of glass and suspend it in front of the camera. In fact, the shuttle attendant can be seen to pull the pen off the glass when she takes hold of it. But what they don't also say is that in that scene where the pen is moving like that, if you look at the top left hand corner, I appreciate what they did and the hard work and that went into it, because it is gorgeous. But yeah, there's a bit when the pen's going around, and as the pen's sort of like down here somewhere on the screen, if you look up at the top left, you can see a mark that's on the glass, and that just moves at the same time in a rotation. So I actually understood the part with the black monolith and then them learning the weapons thing. It says here the initial idea for the device was that it would eventually become the black monolith, involving a transparent screen, which would show the Australopithecines, I think I've got that word correct anyway, how to use objects as tools and weapons. And I said that I think because that thing appears there, I think it's kind of obvious as well, that thing appeared there and then they learned how to use the weapons. I wasn't really sure how to, say it in words at the time that I was saying it though. Apparently Sir Arthur C. Clarke then later dismissed this as too naive, and also the HAL 9000 computer started out as a mobile robot, but as Clarke feared that this view of artificial intelligence would become hopelessly outdated in the coming decades, it didn't. it did not. That would have been even more futuristic, like even more true to what things are like now. Yeah, then it became the omnipresent red eye that was conceived. So there is no dialogue in the first 25 minutes of the movie, ending when a stewardess speaks at 25:38, nor in the last 23 minutes, excluding end credits. With these two lengthy sections and other shorter ones, there are around 88 dialogue-free minutes in the movie. That accounts for some huge gaps in that script. Wow. The film was originally even slower paced than that. And I thought that was quite slow as it was, but it works as it is. Apparently Stanley Kubrick cut 19 minutes from the film's original 158-minute runtime after its New York premiere to speed up the pacing. Mostly to speed up the pacing anyway. This is interesting. So do you know what I said about the blue and the red and heaven and hell? Well, apparently this is going into the music and talking about the sun and crescent moon. The sun and crescent moon aligned with each other in the opening shots is a symbol of Zoroastrianism, an ancient Persian religion that predates Buddhism and Christianity and is based on the teachings of the prophet Zoroaster, also known as Zarathustra. This particular alignment symbolizes the eternal struggle between light and darkness, and there were moments of that I talked about, sort of light and darkness type things. I'm wondering if that was maybe the theme they were going for. You know, like I said, the whole control and placid thing, the light and the darkness. Here you go. One of Stanley Kubrick's additions to the screenplay, which Sir Arthur C. Clarke did not like, was Hal's ability to read the astronauts' lips when they were inside the pod. Years later, he admitted that Kubrick had been right all along after learning that at the time, computers were being developed with the ability to read lips. Now, do you remember I said I was joking about the whole narration thing, and, you know, I said this would be great having narration by David Attenborough as a joke. But yeah, apparently an early draft of the script had narration in it. Not by David Attenborough probably, but still. I knew it! There was a shot at the beginning and I did think it, but I didn't realise the other shots were. So, you know when you see the opening shots of the landscapes, and I looked at it and I was gonna say it to you guys, but you can probably see it in my face at the time, but I was looking at it going, that just looks like a photograph. Because you know when you can see things on footage where there's no sort of grain moving on it and it just looks like a still photo? It looked just like that, and I was going, it was the only shot that I noticed. It was only the close-up, not the rest of them, not all the other landscape shots, just that one close-up. And obviously I noticed that weird kind of hexagonal brick looking pattern sort of thing on the skyline of various shots. Yeah, apparently at the beginning the prehistorical African scene landscapes are just photographs, not actual clips. Oh wow, I don't know if this is real or not, but according to Rolling Stone magazine, during one screening a young man rose as if in a trance at the monolith's reappearance near the end and ran down the theatre's aisle shouting, "It's God! It's God!" Before the theatre's management could stop him, he had crashed through the screen. People have probably mentioned this to me in comments and stuff, but although it's commonly believed that the famous jump cut, you know the bit at the beginning that I said when it changes from the bone to what I thought was a ship or a space station or something spinning, apparently it is not a ship floating in space. It is in fact a nuclear device circling the Earth. So the bone being used as the first murder weapon is thrown to the ultimate weapon. Originally the Star Child was to detonate this device and all the other devices that were circling the Earth. Right, okay, that makes sense. So the end is meant to be a Star Child. I wonder what it was. I wasn't entirely sure if it was meant to be like a small baby kind of thing, just like a normal baby, or if it was meant to be this huge giant baby above the Earth. Stanley Kubrick then decided against the ending as it was too similar to the end of his previous film, Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb, which is a very, very long title. Apparently this was what I mentioned earlier as well, the entire centrifuge section of the Discovery spacecraft was constructed as a single set. Yep, that's why I read about before. It was designed to rotate for shots such as the sequence in which Frank went jogging so that the actor remained on the bottom. Also, I wasn't sure of like when this film was made and when Star Wars was made, etc. Well, apparently A New Hope was in 1977 and this film was 1968. Oh wow, I did wonder how it was filmed. To create convincing images of nebula movement and starbursts, the crew photographed drops of dye moving on a glass plate. Absolutely stunning. Let me know, guys, if you are interested in me watching the follow-up. I think it might already be one of my requests from you guys, but if you'd like me to watch the follow-up, which was I think 2010, the year we make contact, from 1984, then I would happily watch that. I don't know if it's anything like this film, but I'd be curious to check it out. Yeah, I wasn't entirely sure when this all came about, but I remember looking at the screens, and do you remember I said something about the screens, like, oh, when did they come up with the whole widescreen thing? I didn't want to seem a complete idiot watching it and going, oh, yeah, no, that I don't think that was invented then, and it actually was. But no, looking back at it, apparently computers back in 1968 were pretty big. They were gigantic. Computational power was hilariously weak compared to what we have today. But the movie depicts flat screen panels displaying information. Flat screen tech was in infancy back in the 50s, but had many issues to be commercially viable. Only in the 80s did small flat screen televisions come into the market, and then in the late 90s larger versions became available. Apparently, for the Dawn of Man sequence at the beginning, a team travelled to Namibia to gather some stills for the desert scenes that you see. Back in England, a massive camera system was set up to project the shots onto the screen, transforming the set into an African landscape. Actors, dancers and mimes were hired to wear meticulously constructed ape suits. Wild animals were housed at the Southampton Zoo, and the most shocking part of it all, and apologies to any animal lovers out there, a dead horse was painted to look like a zebra, or zebra, however you want to say it. Yeah, so that you saw at the beginning of the film, that was a dead horse. I don't know whether or not I'll include this shot when I do this. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this with me and for, requesting this. It has been incredible. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. It is also very odd looking straight down this camera lens because it reminds me of Hal. It's like looking into Hal. But yes, thank you a million times over. If there's anything you'd like me to watch, then please let me know down in the comments and let me know your thoughts on this film. What did you think when you first watched it? When did you first watch it? Was there any favourite scenes that you've got? Is there anything that I've missed that you think I should I'd be interested in? I'm hugely interested in this film, and I know there are things that I have missed that I thought about at the time, and then I said, I'll look at that later, because I know when I was watching the film, I said, I'll have to look. In my head, I was thinking I have to look that up later, and I've completely forgotten what it was. I need to get like a notebook, because then at the end I can look it up. Especially when it's a long film like that, I can look it up. Instead of getting distracted, I can be just focused and then go, okay, quickly write that down. And then continually focused again. Even like when I need to say something to you guys, if I've forgotten because I'm trying to concentrate, I can look at the pad and see what it is. So I'll have to invest in a pad. Somewhere I've got like 1 billion of them, but because of the move and because of all of the other issues and that, yeah, I just don't have one at the moment. If you did like this video, you can check out the full reaction to it over on my Patreon page. And also, if you liked this video, then please feel free to subscribe for more videos like this. It seems to be I'm doing quite a lot of sci-fi stuff, but I am going to be doing other films as well as sci-fi. It just so happens that the majority of the films I've done so far are sci-fi. I love you guys. You've always been amazing, so thank you very much. I hope to see you next time. Stay safe and take care. Don't forget you can also check out the old Letterboxd account as well if you want to check out the things I haven't seen. And with that, I will bid adieu and I will see you guys next time. Take care, stay safe. Bye bye.